This prince used to dream of becoming immortal all day long. One day, his father explained to him, "Leave this thought, live in the real world, become a member of LQBT and take over the throne." But this prince was adamant. He had to find the secret of becoming immortal at any cost. The next day, the prince packed his bags and started his journey. After walking for many days, he reached a dangerous and high Gandhari mountain. He tore his crown into two parts and tied them into shoes to make mountain climbing shoes. Then, after a difficult climb, he finally reached the top of that mountain. There was a giant Levada Sur demon working on the peak. They greeted each other. After a little conversation, when the demon came to know who this prince was, he said, "This is Sanatan Raja, and there is a very beautiful queen in this kingdom." The demon said, "If you want to meet that queen, you have to cross this terrible forest." The prince crossed the jungle and reached a magnificent palace. There, in the palace court, he met a woman who was knitting embroidery with Vimal in her mouth. The prince asked her about the queen. The woman said, "If you want to meet the queen, you will have to cross 3 iron doors. But keep in mind," the woman said, "each door is guarded by a terrible creature, which eats any stranger it sees." But instead of getting scared, the prince stubbornly moved forward. The woman smiled and said, "When you reach these doors, throw 1 paratha on each door. The animals will eat it and move away, and the doors will open automatically." The prince crosses the doors and finally reaches the queen. He falls in love with the queen at the first meeting itself. Then, the days started passing happily and 2-3 years passed by. But the story does not end here. One day, the prince suddenly told the queen, "Today I am going to meet my father." On hearing this, the queen panicked and said, "It has been 3,000 years since you have been living here. Your father must have been born 100 times by now." But the prince was sure that only 2-3 years had passed. The queen did not even try to stop him, but gave him a pair of magical shoes and said, "When someone attacks you, first listen to them, then wear these shoes. Your life will be saved." Now the prince started walking towards his old kingdom, but the world outside had completely changed. He kept asking passersby, "Do you know my father?" But people did not even know him, so how would they know his father? At night, he slept on dry grass at a place. But in the middle of the night, when he opened his eyes to urinate, a strange man was standing in front of him. The prince immediately wore the magical shoes and ran away from there. But the ghost also started running after him. Finally, the shoes took him to the palace door, where the queen was already standing. The queen shouted in anger, "A white cloth."